And I'm here today to share with you the latest development on Alibaba Cloud from really a developer perspective. Now, Olympics is a platform where all of the world's athletes come together and compete. At the same time, it is also a platform where we can demonstrate the latest cutting-edge technology. With Alibaba Cloud as the exclusive cloud provider to IOC, the International Olympics Committee, Alibaba hosted all of the workloads of the Olympics, including the website, the score distribution systems, the video platforms, as well as media management assets. And also Alibaba Cloud was responsible for deliver 2/3 of the cloud broadcasting all over the world. This is a demonstration of our global infrastructure capability to support an event of this magnitude. But also in the recent 2024 Paris Olympics, the incorporation of AI technology demonstrated how AI can change and enhance the viewers around the world enjoying the whole event. From changing the resolution from historical films to using coloring to update the historical films, to be able to use AI to have more interactive, such as digital experience and digital avatar, social media experience, and also to use the camera relay 360 bullet time sort of experience to allow you to have a 360 view of everything around Olympics, to give our viewers a more immersed view of the Olympics. And all of this is possible because the technology of cloud, data, and AI come together. And it's possible because the development aspect of this has transformed over time. And I would just like to share with you some of how development has transformed. Now, in the past, we as developers, we write programs on top of operating systems, and we don't really worry about the underlying infrastructure. And then you have IT administrators come in, procured systems, storage, networking, and you have them configured, all these IT administrations, configure them for the application. And you really procure hardware once a year or twice a year, and your application sits on the same set of hardware and infrastructure for a long period of time. But in the world of AI and cloud, all this has changed. The cloud infrastructure really can be orchestrated as code. And on top of it, we're connecting developers closer than ever to the infrastructure. In terms of infrastructure in our data center, about every 12 to 18 months, we're updating the newest infrastructure and the innovation from the world. Combined with our CIPU and latest innovations from AMD or Intel or ARM CPU technology, we're always renovating and bringing all the latest compute power to our data centers. And announcing our latest ninth generation ECS, which is the latest combination of Intel CPU and our CIPU, which is Cloud Infrastructure Processing Unit. It's able to deliver average on all the workloads about 20% better performance, about the same cost. At the same time, you can enjoy the latest innovations from Intel in terms of hardware accelerated matrix operation and hardware accelerated encryption and decryption, as well as it has secure computing environment for confidential computing and higher reliability. Now, all these technology will be available globally around the world in all of our regions. And with this type of infrastructure, your storage also can be very powerful in terms of it can auto-sensing its application requirements and adjusting its IOPS dynamically. Now, we noticed that more and more developers are moving from a virtual machine-based or a bare metal-based development into Kubernetes or container-based development environments. Over the last year or so, about 60% of new vCPUs are deployed by Kubernetes. And the number of container or Kubernetes clusters on our Alibaba Cloud doubles every year. And this is why we're introducing the Alibaba Cloud Computing Container Services. It's a ACS, which is what we call this the Container Native Computing. And you can choose from your compute power from the tool, basically resource pool. It's either a general purpose pool or a performance pool. And the performance pool will always incorporate the latest and the greatest in computing technology. For example, the 9th generation ECS I talked about from Intel. And in doing so, we also moving perhaps the 7th generation of ECS from the performance pool to the general purpose pool. You can also select from the best effort type of computing, which is kind of like Spot, and it's perfect for workloads that are basically can afford restart. And you don't really have to provision or buy any containers, or buy any virtual machines. All that can be orchestrated in your YAML file, and you can basically ACS will, according to your YAML file, to provision your pods as little as 0.5 core vCPU or 1 gig of memory. And you can set some predetermined trigger based on CPU utilization rate or memory utilization rate. It can automatically vertically scale. And you can at the same time set the same set of triggers or time trigger to basically scale horizontally. So your infrastructure will dynamically adjust according to your application and workload needs. Also, we're coming soon, we're coming out with the GPU capabilities that are the same way as CPU. So allow all that infrastructure elastically available to developers to work with their applications. Now, all this infrastructure development also is available and integrated with our Alibaba DevOps platform, which I'm happy to introducing this for the first time to our global development community. It is already a widely adopted platform that's used by over 1 million developers and 100,000 enterprise. And this platform basically allows revolutionize the end-to-end software development and release process. Using a set of cloud-native tool chains, it's able to streamline your development and release process. And it has all these solution templates and customization parameters that can be adjusted whether you're a 10-person development team or a large enterprise, suitable to your specific needs. At the same time, this platform has strong security features that's able to host your enterprise code resources and assets. It also you can implement a set of coding standard, which can be implemented in the code repository to making sure all your enterprise code of the highest quality. And building quality assurance is one of its key features. You can use this platform to do code reviews, to do code analytics, to do code statistic analysis, and it integrates with unit tests and functional tests that traditionally that you will perform on your software, ensuring your software is 100% tested before you release to production. Another very key important feature of this product is its ability to integrate the infrastructure for automated deployment. It automates the full cycle of CI/CD in continuous integration or continuous development. Every phase from building to integration to validating to testing, all these can be automated completely, ensuring that your development cycles are moving fast-paced and also your deployment are consistent and error-free. So all these together with latest infrastructure, the container native computing and DevOps environment is what transforming traditional application development. But however, we also have a new set of development that really increased in the last 10 years around data. We call them data development, around big data. And historically, if you look at data and data was sitting on premises, when you look at big data, you're dealing with petabytes of data, some are generated by yourself, some are generated by others. And just managing all that data can be a very daunting task. And then you have to figure out to how to develop on that data to derive insight. So some of those fundamental changes are also possible because of Alibaba Cloud and because cloud computing. Where our customers are putting all of their data in object storage. And object storage, Alibaba Cloud Object Storage offers 8 tiers of different object standard. And you can, at object level granularity, to implement your lifecycle policy. And most frequently accessed data are in the standard and the less frequent in the infrequent and archive tier. And all these 3 tiers can be accessed without having sort of waiting for your data retrieval time. And then you have the code archive and deep code archive to ship data to basically archival data. So you can manage the expansion of your data sets without having to increase your cost. At the same time, once you separate data from compute, then you can adopt different compute engines as needed. And you can run these compute engines in containers, and you can kind of go spikes and valleys depends on your computation needs. And in Alibaba Object Storage allow you to basically dynamically adjust the throughput to different type of a compute engine. And it has OSS HDFS, which enables historically applications that are based on historical HDFS environment to run seamlessly in this environment. With our OSS, also we are providing SDKs to allow you to tune your performance all the way from the client end, server end, to the storage. End to end, you can realize the end-to-end performance. Now with vast amount of data, you also need a central place to develop your data and to govern your data. And DataWorks is our next generation intelligent data development and governance platform. It is seamlessly integrated with a wide array of big data and AI compute engines. And developers can use this platform whether to build a big data, data lake solution, or a data warehouse solution, or lakehouse solution. All of that can be done on this platform. And it connects all the entire data development with a set of tool chains, and it basically allows you to streamline your data development to make sure your data is always kept to date and ready for analysis. But it's more than just a data development platform. It also is a data governance platform. It allows enterprises to govern all its assets through data cataloging, data quality check, data health check, data security, manage all of its data centrally. And this is built on the 15 years of Alibaba Cloud experience with big data and best practices. It is a completely fully managed tool, so you don't have to manage anything in the DataWorks and just focus on what's important, which is deriving value from your data. Now with DataWorks, I would like to announce a couple of new features in this function. One is DataWorks Copilot, which basically is an AI-driven intelligent assistant that will completely change the way that you interact with data. It has automatically generation SQL queries, so you can intuitively figure out what you wanted to do with your data for data manipulation and inquiry. You can get instant answers about your SQL-related questions, so you can optimize and debug your inquiries. And it allows natural language to search table or to create table, so that way you can intuitively to develop your searches. And with just a few clicks of a button, you can basically put your data into visualization, intuitive visualization, so you can see your data insights. This Copilot capability is rolling out in January in multiple regions across the world. Also, another new feature that we're announcing is the DataWorks Notebook. Because more and more customers are combining big data workloads and AI workloads together, we're using AI to enable search and recommendation and advertisement. And it's because we see this trend, and Data Notebook is the perfect place to enable collaborative work between AI and big data. It supports both SQL, and Python, and enabling queries that are more powerful and flexible. And it allows your personal work environment to be more development environment to be customizable with customizable container images. And this notebook capabilities is rolling out across the world in February. Now, this is the example of a perfect example of how big data and AI come together. I guess the English sometimes they call it the little red note. And it's #1 download on your probably Apple app across all regions. I heard it even in Iceland or in Qwen, it's the #1 download. And it's and the little red note uses our object storage, uses our compute and storage to realize and modelize its search with AI. It has over several exabytes of data in object storage, and it drives tens of terabits per second throughput out of that single bucket, able to feed massive compute engines and a versatile variety of compute and analytics engines as well as AI engines. It's taking customer behavior data combined with AI and analytics to be able to optimize its search and recommendation and advertisement. And all the compute are 100% container-based to allow maximum efficiency. And this is a great example of how AI is not only changing, not only generative AI, but also AI embedding with existing workloads to optimize the workload. Of course, we can't forget about AI model development. After all, that is, this type of workload sparked over the last 2 years has been hugely successful and advancing our AI capabilities in the world. And what is really behind all these AI model development? Fundamentally, it requires a completely different infrastructure than we have seen before. It is a huge cluster of 100,000 GPUs working as one supercomputer. And all the tasks are completely distributed, which means that your network has to be highly available because networks are basically the nerves that connects with all the compute power. If any segment of your network goes down, then you basically lost all that GPU compute capability. And also, you have to sort of co-locate a set of GPUs, maybe 1,000 GPUs together to avoid communication collisions, to have the highest level of communication fluidity. And GPUs, they do fail sometimes. All hardware eventually fails, and software eventually works, right? But so to basically medicate all these hardware failures, you have to proactively and dynamically monitor all these hardware failures and preventively perform maintenance so that your whole training wouldn't come to a halt because of number of GPUs that went offline. So all this is possible because we reconstructed our AI infrastructure with Linjin AI infrastructure. Massive scalability, and you see the scale of our GPU performance scales 96% linearly. And with model training, it requires huge amount of data. And you'll see this performance on the storage is very important because all the GPUs are working together to write checkpoint. When it's writing checkpoint, the GPU completely stops and waiting for basically the checkpoints are written, and it will load from the checkpoints. So in order to maximize your compute power, you need a different storage system. And this is why we developed this highly parallel, we call CPFS, which is cloud parallel file system that completely distributes all the data amongst thousands of storage nodes, and it completely distributes all the file metadata amongst all the nodes, and it completely distributes all the file handle amongst all the nodes, so that multiple compute instances can visit single file at the same time, and storage can scale according to its data size. It not only handles large data, but it also handles small data, small files. And it can be centrally fully managed and scales up to 12 petabytes in a single file system. It delivers throughput of 20 terabytes per second, and generates basically, you also, even with 12 petabytes of data, we still think that's only a high performance tier, because you have hundreds of petabytes of data probably sitting on object storage. So it integrates the object storage seamlessly to do lazy load, easy load, to be able to load from data from object storage to this high performance tier. Now, all this infrastructure sounds expensive and complicated, and it is. And this is why serverless Pi or Pi serverless products enable our AI models to consume all that infrastructure capability easily. Pi, which is basically an acronym for Platform for AI, basically delivers the diverse needs of all the variety of roles in AI. For AI model developers, the integrated environment for code development and data exploration. You can visualize your model, you can deep dive your model, you can reiterate on the model, ensure your model development is efficient, fast, and also of high quality. It allows AI operation people to basically manage the inference as well as training services, to deploy all these models and to train these models in a real life scenario. Then with the resource management, you're managing not only the infrastructure, but all your assets and workspace management. All that can be in one panel, so it alleviates any administrative overhead. All this can be seamlessly managed out of a single platform in order to enjoy all that capability underneath the complicated 100,000 GPUs to realize your fine-tune or your training AI model capability. Now, last but not least, really the closest to us, to our consumers, to everyday person, is the AI application development. Right? These are the newest application development that we can interact with and are changing our lives. And how is that possible? Fundamentally, it's based on a set of foundation models. With the announcement of our Qwen 2.5 large language model, which is trained on 18 trillion tokens, has the capability of input 128K token and output of 8K token, which means that you can consume it, ingest and understand complicated documents, and also produce articles up to 10,000 words long. Its advancement in mathematics, coding, and instruction followings are breakthrough achievements. Comparing to our competitors on the left-hand side, you can see that as an open source model, we're dominating in every aspect. Already with Qwen's accumulative download of 189 million, and with our development communities around the world have developed close to 90,000 generative models. This shows not only the Qwen's influence, but also shows our development community acceptance of our Qwen's capability. Now we're offering the Qwen model anywhere from 3B to 72B models, depends on use case. But also for enterprise commercialized customers, we're offering a set of commercial models that are hosted by Alibaba infrastructure, Alibaba Cloud infrastructure, which you can call those models by a set of APIs or SDKs, similar to the way you would work with likes of OpenAI. And we offer 3 models that are commercially available: the Qwen Turbo, the Qwen Plus, and the Qwen Max. You'll see that the horizontal axis is the cost, and the vertical axis is sort of the intelligence and reasoning capability. And for a lot of the use cases where very simple use cases, you want lower cost, and that Qwen Turbo is your perfectly suited answer. And Qwen Plus is the perfect balance of between cost, speed, as well as intelligence level. And then last but not least, our flagship Qwen Max delivers the maximum intelligence level and capabilities, and it can be used in most complex situations. And if you look at the increase of intelligence, the amount of CPU, GPUs, compute power, and resource, and optimization is required is very deep. And that's why we have different cost models that's suited for your needs. But not just about these Qwen 2.5 models, we're also announcing 3 models that our developers will require or need for your AI applications. And that's first is the Qwen VL, which is our major breakthrough in the visualization, understanding, and interpreting complex meaning of video and images. Whether it's recognized as a text or a picture or a chart, it can all understand that, and it incorporates with Qwen's natural language understanding. And you can see on the right-hand side that our visualization benchmarks are leading across the board. Qwen audio recognition basically recognizes the human speech, voice, and the background noise and music. You can see on our right-hand side, it also is all the audio benchmark completely dominate on all aspects. And then you have Quasi Voice 2.0, which is my favorite, is able to generate voice that with its own emotion and tunes that you can't really tell if it's, an AI generated or maybe it's your friend or your wife. So it's very close to a human interaction to sort of provide this fluid, natural interaction between human and AI. And all this together enable our developers to build solutions for customer service, for virtual assistants, or for various applications, AI applications, easily. And all these models have to be hosted together and enable AI applications to be developed together, which is why we're introducing the Model Studio 3.0, which is a one-stop development and services for all the AI applications. It allows our developers to create and customize and deploy advanced AI applications with ease. Now, at the core of the Model Studio is all these foundation models I talked about before. But you can incorporate these models with your enterprise's data. You can, with a few clicks of a button, to create your own RAG, retrieval augmented generation. And you can fine-tune those foundation models to make your models to work with your industry to understand your company and your context, to modify these models for your specific needs. But not only that, you can also easily, with a few clicks of a button, to create AI agents, whether it's chatbot or virtual agents, and or basically AI applications. Now, we also understand that not only AI applications are important, but security is very important. That's why Model Studio can be deployed in an isolated cloud network environment. Ensure none of the data leaves your network infrastructure to make sure all your data and all your work is secure. So these capabilities allow our AI developers to quickly innovate. And also, Toyi Lima, which is our code generation agent, is AI assisting coders or developers to develop faster. It will revolutionize the way developer works. It integrates, first of all, it integrates with your mainstream IDE, integrated development environment. So you don't have to adopt a new environment, whether you already use VS Code or JetBrains. And you can enjoy all this capability from multi-file generation, so you can work on very large projects. It works with Java, C++, Python, all these languages. And it not only generate code, but it also has specialized development capabilities for development needs. For example, some developers needs to apply diff or search for code or create unit tests for a set of code, or taking an interactive panel and convert that front interface into code directly. All that is possible with Toyi Lima. This capability is already being used by millions of developers. And we're bringing this to the global community now to be shared with all of the developers around the world. Already 1.5 billion lines of code as LLC have been accepted, and we can expect more of that code to be incorporated into your projects to really revolutionize the efficiency of development. It has a very interactive interface that you can use natural language to work with Lima to generate code. So with that, I would like to conclude about Alibaba Cloud. First of all, by using Alibaba Cloud, you have the leadership in cloud infrastructure. That's the very latest in technology. That's auto sensing and auto provisioning. Then with the next generation development environment for software and for data, you have one-stop shopping to basically to realize and string chain all your software development and data development needs. You have an AI development platform that integrates with this really complicated AI supercomputer, and then you can do all your model trainings and fine-tuning. And then with all these models being available at your hand and studio at hand, you're able to innovate faster. So I will leave you with this sentence, which is a mantra of Olympics: faster, higher, stronger together. Because together with Alibaba Cloud, you can develop and innovate faster. You can build systems that are more reliable and that are strong. And together, we will soar to a higher place and challenge the edge of possible. Thank you.